That's not our, let me change that. We do not have a discount. So let me get that thing at the bottom. Let's see. There we go. Nope. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't have the Love Witch with me today. Oh, Love Witch is feeling under the weather. So I don't have any of my, that's not what I want. I don't know how to do this. Wait, sorry guys. This is going to be a wild show because I was left alone to mess around with everybody. Oh goodness. Let's see. What can I do? Oh, backgrounds. There we go. Ooh, what about this background? No, that didn't work. Huh. Maybe I need to do this. Cover. Let's see. I don't know what I'm doing here, you guys. I really don't know what I'm doing. I guess we just have me in the background. All right, let's get this thing at the bottom fixed. Ticker. All right. Maybe that's the one I need. There we go. This is the one I need. All right, we're doing our Tarot for Kindness. I'm left unsupervised. You know what that means? Oh, this is going to be tough because I've got to go over to, I don't know. I need a helper for this to tell me who's done what. Ay, ay, ay. I really feel like I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, let's see if I can get a QR code here. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Tarot for Kindness. It's me, Madam Pamita. And guess what we're doing? We are doing tarot card readings for $10 per card. You can make a payment on Venmo or PayPal, or if you are on YouTube, you can do it on Super Chat. And let me show you all those things. Oh, you guys, this is lame. This is why we have helpers. All right, let's see if I can get it up here. All right, here we go. Donate through PayPal. There you go. There's one of the places that you can make a donation, PayPal. You can use that QR code. You can make a payment, $10 per card. So if you want a 1-card reading, it's $10. If you want a 2-card reading, it's $20. 3-card reading is $30. 4-card reading is $40. $40 feeds. And what do we do with this money? It's not going to me. This money is going to feed seniors in Ukraine. My wonderful friends in Kyiv, Subotin Harbor, who you can find here. If I can find the link to show you. There you go. You can follow Subotin Harbor on Facebook, and you can see the seniors that you're helping. $40 feeds a senior, one senior in Kyiv or Zaporizhzhia for 2 weeks. This is a wonderful way you can help people in Ukraine, and it is direct aid. It's like I send 100% of what you pay over to them. They buy the groceries, they deliver the groceries, and these seniors are able to eat. In wintertime, it's so critical that we keep them fed. So here's what I'm going to suggest. If you want to make a donation and you want to get a reading tonight, and I would love to do a reading for you, you can donate through Venmo. Here's the Venmo link, or PayPal. It's going to be honor system, you guys, because I cannot be checking Venmo and doing readings and checking PayPal and doing readings, or checking Super Chat and doing readings. So what I'm going to do is in the chat, here's a question. Was there a live magic Q&A tonight? There was a live magic Q&A tonight. For some reason, the message didn't go out. I don't know what happened, but I posted the link to it in the Spell Squad group. So somebody in the Spell Squad Nan said, I didn't get the email, and I usually get an email. So I'm going to go back, and I looked at it and it looked like it should have delivered an email. So I'm going to actually go back to the old, oh, you know what I think it is? I think I know what it was. Because it's a new year, we made we didn't use the old system where all you guys are registered. We created a new one, and we shouldn't have created a new one. I just figured it out. So anyway, next week you'll get a message. Next week we'll all be back on board. It'll all be good. We'll be good to go. So don't worry, we're all good. We'll fix it. I mean, we're humans, we make mistakes, but we did have a Q&A. We only had about 10 people in the Q&A, and they found it over in the Spell Squad message board. So if you're ever, if you have purchased a new moon kit, if you have purchased a full moon kit back in the past, or full moon class, or you're part of the coven, you're automatically in that Spell Squad group. And that's like that one-stop shop where you can get, oh my gosh, Buchanan. I know what it is too. Yeah. Yeah, we have to go. Oh, Buchanan saying, I'm just saying hi and then going back to bed. I'm sorry. I was just saying here, I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Look, I have no cute background. I don't know what I'm doing here. Before you go, can you add a cute background? Because I don't know how to do that. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know how to do that. Maybe Buchanan's gone now. So anyway, you can donate through Venmo. You can donate through PayPal. This is another place that you can donate through PayPal, but actually this is easier. There we go. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Buchanan. We had a little snafu with the Zoom thing. Buchanan, we'll talk about it tomorrow and I'll fix it, or you can fix it. We can discuss it tomorrow. No big deal. We'll figure it out. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, because I'm on my own, I have nobody helping me, and I'm by myself, because poor Buchanan is recovering. We're going to do this. I want you to make your donation through Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. And then in your comments, in the place where you can put the comments, you can write where you donated, how much you donated, on what platform you donated, and what your question is. And then I'll answer your question. I think this is going to be short tonight because I don't know how I'm going to do. We don't know how this is going to go, but I do know one thing. I'm a pretty capable reader. That part you will get a great reading. It's all this techie behind the scenes stuff that we're going to be a little funny with. Chandra says, I was also lost. What time are they? The Live Magic Q&A is 1 hour before this, and it's on Zoom. But we had a snafu with the meeting. So it was like a new link, and nobody got it, and it was weird. So we're going to fix it, and we're going to get it all set up. Okay, then let's see. Okay, great. Chandra says, I did 2 donations of $40 each. Wonderful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. 2 seniors that we're helping. And if you like, you can go to follow Subotin Harbor, and then you'll see a thank you, Chandra. And you can get that thank you, and you'll see the seniors that you help. You have helped 2 seniors have food this month. That is amazing. They are really in dire straits, like where they're like, do I have heat or food? Do I have medicine or food? I mean, that's the level of poverty and lack that these seniors are experiencing, and they don't have anyone to help them. And this is like this amazing miracle coming through. So thank you so much. So 2 questions. Okay, so 2 questions. Why don't you write those questions down and send them to me, and I will answer them. Okay, great. So I'm diving deep into finding my purpose in life, and I've been searching my whole life. Can you please help me with any info on what that is or anything to do with it? Wonderful. Yeah, I can, I'm probably not going to tell you this exact thing is going to be that, but I can give you some wonderful hints to explore for sure. That will be your first question. And then you can put your second question in. You can go ahead and put that in the chat whenever, but we'll focus on this one for now. So the first thing I want to say is the deck that I'm using is the Wiser Tarot. Love this deck. Beautiful watercolor colors, lots of skin tones and diversity, which I love to see. Different. Well, of course, yeah, there we go. Some different skin tones and things. So it's really a beautiful deck and beautiful watercolor images and the Rider-Waite-Smith energy. So I love that. So yeah, so let's look at your purpose. I can tell you from experience that when I ask spirit guides about what is someone's purpose, they always say everybody has one purpose, but with just manifold variations on what that will look like. But our purpose is to really connect to another being and to assist or help or give love to another being, right? Now that can be a human, of course, we can help other people, but we can also help animals, we can help plants, we can help our pets, we can help anybody and anything. And so if we do one thing that has a positive effect in some other being's life, anything. That's how I feel. I'm an animist, so I really believe that. But if we do that, we've fulfilled our purpose. But how we do it, that's where the interesting part comes in, because there can be, an unlimited number of ways that we can really bring that purpose in. So, okay, so I'm going to put back up the QR codes. Thank you for adding, and I will share with the Subotin team about who donated so that they can give you a personal thank you. Friend them, and then they'll be able to thank you, and you'll be able to see it. So here we go. I'm going to put the Venmo link up while I do this. All right, and let's see if I can make this a little. Does this work better? I guess not. All right. I don't know how to work this thing. All right. So you want to find your purpose. I'm going to take that chat down so that you can see the cards and you can see that QR code. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wow. Zowie. Amazing. Powerful. You got 3 major arcana cards showing up in your purpose. This is this is cool. So first card that came up is the 3 of Cups. Oh, you know what? I want this to be my life purpose. This is like play and connection, friendship, love, but connecting. Sometimes people have a purpose of connecting to one person. You have a purpose of connecting to many people. This could be even like bringing people together, but bringing people together in joy, in celebration, in fun, in play. I think, there's also, this literally is a harvest festival. They've got all these pumpkins and fruits and flowers at their feet, and they're toasting and celebrating. She's got grapes in her hands. They're dancing around. So this really represents that idea of coming together seasonally. As we were talking in our Q&A today, we were talking about the seasons and the changing of the seasons and honoring the changes of the seasons and how the Sabbats can do that. So this really is about coming together in these celebratory ways and seasonal ways, or even bringing people together in joy, play and joy. So one of your main purposes in life is to bring together people in play and in joy. What a lovely, lovely purpose. This is such a good one. I want this one to be my purpose. So good. 3 of Cups is like celebration, success energy, uplifting, heart connections. It's like warm feelings toward others. There's just such a joyful energy about this card. So I really think like joy in your heart, love in your heart, and spreading that around and bringing people together is one aspect of this. Really important. Really important. Really important. I want this to be mine. I love that so much. Next card to show up for your life purpose is the Emperor card, stepping into your power. This is like, there's a very interesting energy around this card because we have an emperor who has a long white beard and he's wearing armor. We've got a whole story here, right? So what do these clues tell us about this emperor? Well, number one, he's probably been emperor for a really long time. He's got a long white beard, long white hair. He's an old guy, right? He's not a youngin. So he has been in power. His power has been consolidated and sustained for a long time. The other thing is we see that armor there, and armor represents he's a warrior. So this in combination is an interesting combination. Longevity, long life, long rule, and a warrior don't always go together. Lots of warriors die on the battlefield. So this guy is exceptionally good at what he does. He's a really capable warrior and a really capable general because he not only has been able to get this power, but he's able to maintain this power over decades. So what this is calling to you is to step up into roles of leadership. That means you're not just going to be a part of the gatherings, you're going to be organizing the gatherings. Leadership is an interesting path for someone to get because we can sort of look at the leader as like, wow, that person gets all the glory. They're the emperor. They get all the good stuff. But in an honesty, that leader role is of great responsibility. They're responsible for everyone too. So we look at the glory that the leader gets. We don't look at the hard work that the leader puts in and the responsibility that they have to all those that they're leading. There's a great gift in being a leader and a great personality that's a leader personality. So a leader, an effective leader, is not an authoritarian. Authoritarianism is just going to make people rebel. It is just going to either crush people or make them rebel. That's what authoritarianism does. That's what authority does. You need to do this because I said so. That's authority. And that's not the bright side of leadership. That's the kind of shadow side of leadership. So the bright and fulfilled leader is somebody who gets people invested, knows how to delegate things, gets people invested, and can take them on the journey that needs to happen to get them involved and to take them on the journey. And the way you get people invested is to get people on board with you. Think about your perspective from a person who looks up to a leader. I am a person who's super rebellious. I'm really rebellious. So when I see a leader who's like, you need to do this, I'm like, I'm out. Bye. I see ya. I'm not going to do that that you're demanding that I do. But when somebody's like, hey, you guys, if we all work together, we can accomplish this. And I'm going to take the lead, but we all need to do our part. And I encourage you and give you, I see you, I help you to be blossom. All of those things are the things that make a leader a good leader, is that they see the people, that they encourage them, they give them responsibilities, they give them kudos, they give them full credit for things. This is the traits of the good leader who gets people wanting to go into battle with them, right? Think about your bosses. Have you had good bosses and bad bosses? The bad bosses are the ones that you don't click with and are telling you what to do and you don't like them. The good bosses are the ones that you love and you would do anything for them. So Chandra says, this is how I was voted into being dorm chief at BMT. Yes, exactly. So It's you understand leadership. So leadership is you understand it intimately. You've been a leader, and this is how you lead. But you are bringing people together in joy and happiness and celebration and fun. This is your purpose. Such a beautiful purpose. Now we've got even more. Because remember when I said the leader thinks, oh, everyone thinks, oh, the leader gets all the perks, the leader gets all the glory, the leader gets all the fame, the leader gets all of this. But you know what? The leader is probably the one working the hardest. A good leader is the one that's working the hardest. And your next card is the hanged one in this deck, or the hanged man card. So the hanged one is someone who is giving up something or willing to sacrifice or willing to be disciplined to get to the result. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look at this card, this guy is sitting there very serenely, and he has a halo around his head. In older decks, we would see this card even being called the traitor and other things. But as the tarot evolved, and as it was envisioned by Pamela Coleman Smith and A.E. Waite, and how they saw this card, they saw it as a symbol of Odin, and the story of Odin receiving the enlightenment of the runes. The story is the Norns had this secret language, the runes that they were using for magic. And he looked at it and he was very curious and wanted to know what it was. Well, the Norns were not going to share that information freely. And so he was either guided to, or somehow, I don't remember the details of it, but hung himself on the magical world tree Yggdrasil over the pool where the runes were below, the dark black pool of water. And he was looking at that. And for 9 days, he hung there hovering between life and death. And then on the 9th day, he received the enlightenment. And so when we see this card, it can be about like things turn something upside down, or things being stagnant, or something like that. But when we're looking at purpose, that's our question. We're looking at a life where you have to make sacrifices to get to what you want. Not sacrifices like losing something, but more like discipline. It's a little bit, you're going to have to be good with FOMO, in other words, right? When you have like the discipline, you will get to the goal. So this is also your purpose, is to be willing to make sacrifices, probably, honestly, for the good of the group. As the leader, sometimes you have to make sacrifices, right? As the leader, sometimes you have to give up something, not like a loss, but more like give something to someone else. Let someone else have a chance. You have to be able to put in the long hours and do the hard work to get to the goal. So the leader sometimes is the hardest working one in the team. Really, honestly, that can be that. Lastly, your last card is the Magician. So good. So magic is certainly a part of your purpose, your life purpose. I mean, this is what you're doing. I know you're doing this, you're making magical things, candles and things like that. But making magic itself is going to be your purpose. And this is the card of manifestation. So this is, Chandra's going, yes. So this is the card of really, if you can dream it, you can create it. And to master manifestation, it might even be to help others to manifest, or to teach others to manifest, could be part of it. I don't know if this is so much teaching, but leading them toward it. There's nothing here that specifically says teaching, but about helping others to create and manifest in some way. But this is such a gorgeous card. Look at these powerful, amazing cards for your part. This is a big life purpose. This is a big life purpose. So, so in thinking about this, these are little hints and clues along the way. Step up into leadership, bring people together. Well, you've called it make magic, and be willing to make the sacrifices to reach the goals for the group, for the collective, I think, not just for yourself. It's more for the collective, I see. So what a powerful thing, really powerful life purpose. All right, when you think of your other question, you can pop that into the chat. Okay, here we go. We got another one. Let's see. I'm going to get to all of them. Okay. Oh, yes. You know what? Chandra said, I added Subotin Harbor. It's hard for us to imagine in our culture. It is. We don't see in the news what's happening in Ukraine. I see it because I follow Ukrainian sources and I look at that news every day. But in the American mainstream news, we're seeing all kinds of things about the election, of course, and of course, what's happening in Palestine. We're seeing all of those things, but we're not really seeing things about Ukraine. However, there have been really bad things happening in Ukraine. Still, there's a war going on. Still, I mean, just recently, oh God, it was this amazing poet who was fighting on the front, and his cat were both killed by Russians. So it's like we have to remember that a war is still going on in Ukraine, no matter what else is going on in our lives, and do one thing for Ukraine every day. It can be making a donation. It can be doing this. It could be liking a post, following a social media account. It can be doing a little thing. It can be doing a big thing, but all of it matters. And we need to remember that this is happening here. And really, you guys, I have to emphasize to you how important it is in our election. Ukraine is depending on us and our support. And I can tell you 100% that if Trump gets into office, he's buddies with Putin. God knows why, because he's a maniac. And I don't really go on political rants or things like that, but we cannot have Trump presidency. And so, because that will be not only bad for us, but bad for Ukraine as well. And we cannot let this disgusting tyrant waltz into some other country like Hitler and take over a country. It's not okay. It is not okay. So please, please, please do what you can to help support. Support Biden, because even if you have problems with him, we cannot have a Trump presidency. We just can't, because it's going to be devastating to the world. That's really going to be the end of, who knows what. So got to get out there and vote, and you got to get other people, educate other people, and get other people out there to vote. Yeah. Okay. So, Chandra says, I really connected the High Priestess founder after I realized that I wanted to study life, history, religions. How can I serve others with this? This is great. So it's like in your research and all of that is perfect to support these things, but it's like step up into your leadership, be willing to make those sacrifices, bring people together, and make magic. What a great thing. All right. So Bruce has a question. I sent $20 via PayPal. I'd like one card for what my main challenge will be in 2024 and one card for what might be the most amazing or terrific thing that will be in store for me for 2024. Okay. Your challenges and your blessings, we could say, right? Challenges and blessings. Right. This is for Bruce. I'm going to take it down so people can go on Venmo or on PayPal. Let me bring up the PayPal one so we can have a little change here. You can also make a donation through Super Chat if you're watching on YouTube. Super Chat does take more of a cut. They take like 30% or something like that. I fill it in, but PayPal and Venmo take a smaller cut. So, all right, let me jot this down. Okay. All right, Bruce. Biggest challenge, biggest blessing. Oh, challenge isn't that bad. So these are really great cards, actually, both of them. So your biggest challenge is the King of Cups. This is super interesting because you're Scorpio. I know you're Scorpio. And King of Cups is a water sign. So he's water king, right? King of Cups is very comfortable in his emotions, very comfortable in his psychic ability. So I think your big challenge for 2024 is to get deeply into your intuition, which I kind of feel like you struggle with. Like, I know you, and I know you've been in tarot classes with me. We've done all kinds of things, together, and Q&As and things like that. But I would say this King of Cups energy is to get into your emotions and to get into your intuition. Go in deeply and completely. Like, but be comfortable in those things. To be comfortable in those things. If we look at the court cards as they are like a progression, so we have page, knight, queen, and king, right? The king represents someone who is solidly in that element, right? Solidly and confidently and comfortable in that element. So look at this detail in this card. We have a king. He's a water king. He's in the middle of the ocean. What? But he's on a stone platform. See that right there? He's on a stone platform. What that indicates is that look at all that water representing emotion, psychic ability, all of these things flowing all around him. He's grounded. He's like, no big deal. I'm comfortable here. This is fine. So in situations when this card shows up, I see it as the person I'm reading for or somebody in their life, I see a person who is able to open their heart fully because they are not afraid to open their heart. They're confident in opening up their heart. They know all is well. Even if you open your heart and get rejected, you're fine. If you go deeply within to work with your intuition, you're not going to get lost. You're not going to get you. It's like this innate knowing and trust and confidence in that. That is your challenge. That is your challenge to open up your heart and trust and open up your intuition and trust and be confident in it. Isn't that interesting that came up as your challenge? So interesting. I'm so curious as to what you think about that. Okay, then your biggest blessing is being a visionary. This is a card. I love this card, Two of Wands. It shows an explorer who has a globe in his hand, and he's standing on a parapet and he's looking out over the water. Now, as he looks out over the water, it's like he has a map in his hand, another sense. It's like he's saying, I'm going to sail around the world and I'm visioning that. You can imagine, think about the era of exploration. Well, even now, even with space exploration and things like that. But when we think about exploring the world, when people were like, I'm going to go to the South Pole or the North Pole, and no one has ever been to the South or North Pole, you don't know what you're going to encounter because you have no information. You are having to step out into the unknown. I just read an amazing book about these explorers who were trapped going to the South Pole and their boat got trapped for a year. It's crazy story, right? But I think about those explorers who kind of don't know what they're in for, and they go in there and kind of just have to take each day as it comes in some way. So for you, your blessing is going to come from the visioning that you do. It also kind of goes with this because this is like you have to be in trust. And this is saying you have to have a vision and then trust that you're going to have the resources as you go along. I think about explorers it's wild. The first person to climb a mountain, the first person to go to the North or South Pole, the first, person to navigate around the world. All of these things were things that people envisioned, but they didn't really know if they were possible, but they trusted or believed that they were possible. That's that Two of Wands energy. It's like taking action, but it's like believe in that ability. You can be the first one to do something. You can be the first one, but as you get into it, you're going to have to navigate it. but you have to go on that journey. So that's what's there for you as your blessing, is to be a visionary. This is like a visionary. Visionaries are amazing. People who are visionaries, and I'm talking about like in any field, it's any area. Visionaries are people who say, I am visioning this thing that does not yet exist, and I am willing it into being. Great visionaries. Martin Luther King. We have had hundreds of years of racism, enslavement of people of color, and all kinds of crap, and white supremacy. And here comes Martin Luther King saying, I have a dream, I have a vision that one day we are going to all be together and not divided, that we are all going to be supportive of one another, and people will not be judged by the color of their skin or where they come from or all of these other things. So he was a visionary because that did not exist in America and still doesn't exist in America. But he's like, I'm holding this vision, because if we have the vision, then we know where we're headed for. So this is calling on you to be a visionary, Bruce. So cool. Love it. That's your blessing, but it's also kind of a challenge in and of itself too. They're both blessings and challenges, I guess. So you get a twofer for that one. Yeah. All right. Chandra, I know you have one coming up. Whenever you get your question in there, we'll get to that one. Jen, thank you. So Bruce, make sure that you follow Suboten Harbor and Jen. Boom. Okay. And Jen said, guidance for the week ahead. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Jen. All right, let's take a look at that. And the rest of you, if you want to make a donation, let me put the other one up. Here's the Venmo one again. If you want to do that. If you want to follow, I'll just leave that up for now, and we'll put the Suboten Harbor one up in a minute. Okay, Jen. Okay. Okay, week ahead. This is an interesting week in that it's like an expansive week, but also a week where you're working out some internal stuff, it looks like, but not big internal stuff, just a little bit. So the first card to show up is Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, speaking of exploration and climbing mountains and doing all these things, I call this King of the Hill. And I also call it like climbing to the top of Mount Everest. So when we look at this card showing up in our reading, it's saying you have the capability of accomplishing the goal. Even if it's a battle to get there, you will win. It's like a winner card, right? This guy got to the top of the hill, and all these people down here are like, wait, I'm going to knock you off. But he's fending off, defending his position. He is fending them off, and he's climbed to the top of the mountain. So I think of this as like, if there are goals that you want to achieve, you're going to get there. There's going to be effort involved in getting there, but you will get there. So anything that you want to achieve this week, you'll do it. But it is effortful. It's not like a walk in the park or handed to you. This is definitely something you're working toward. Sometimes with this card, it can feel like there's a competitive energy around you. So you might feel a sense of competition, but even if there's competition, don't let it distract you from getting to that goal, because you are going to get to the goal and you will be successful. It's a success card. Now, I think because this is such a, has a little edge of combativeness in it, that I would say that's why our Nine of Wands comes up. Nine of Wands is like, oh my gosh, it's like, this is the before and this is the after. I went through the battle and now I'm kind of resting here, but I'm also like, when's the next battle? Well, it's an interesting card because he's safe. He's behind a barricade that all those staffs behind him are protecting him, but he's still like, where's the next guy with a stick that's going to try and knock me out of my position? But what I would say to you is once you reach the top, once you reach that success point this week, you're not going to have to worry. You're going to feel a little, looking over your shoulder, but you're really not going to have to look over your shoulder. You're going to be safe and protected. Sometimes this card also reflects this idea that we're better than we think we are, or we have all that we need to succeed, but we don't believe in ourselves, or we don't believe that we can. So like this guy is protected and safe, but he doesn't believe that he's protected and safe. So I would encourage you this week to look at ways that you are, if you're feeling a little like you're having to look over your shoulder, get more centered and realize that all is well and that you're safe and your position is safe and all of that. So if you're having to go into some battle of some kind and then you win, as soon as possible, release any fear of like your position is going to be taken from you, because you have everything you need to succeed. It's not like you don't have it, or, so remember that that's probably your mantra this week. I have everything I need to succeed. That's it. That's your mantra for this week. That's your affirmation for this week, for sure. Now, another thing that I see for you this week is an opportunity that's coming from an unusual place, right? So part of what this card is telling us is to remember to keep our eyes open for things. So here's this guy. He's kind of like, meh, life is meh. And he's looking at these 3 cups in front of him that are just average cups. But he's missing this magical cloud with a hand emerging from it that's offering him a cup. And why is he doing that? Why is he missing that? It's such a magical thing, because his focus is on the stuff that's right in front of him. So as much as possible this week, you want to be really awake and aware and paying attention, and not just like your head down and working on right in front, but really like open up to synchronicities, open up to signs, pay attention to the environment and the world around you. And if you do that, an opportunity will present itself to you that will really be heart fulfilling, really feel good, really be something that fills up your heart and is satisfying to you. A great, gift that is coming to you. But to receive that gift, we have to be awake and aware, and not with our head down looking at the cups in front of us. So that's some interesting stuff this week, right? It's like some cool and interesting and very specific kind of direction there. So I love that. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, Bruce says back about our 2 of Wands. I'm reminded of the song "They All Laughed." The first line is "They all laughed at Christopher Columbus," right? Not that Columbus did so many great things, but he did accomplish his. Well, he didn't accomplish his goal either. Actually, he did something. He did sail across the Atlantic Ocean, which is a pretty big deal. So yeah, got out of it alive. So yeah, there you go. Hi, Adrija. Oh my gosh, good to see everybody. So Chandra, do you have your second question that you want to pop in there? Jen, you can let me know what you think. If you want to get in there, you can just, when you get in there, leave a message in chat where you tell me, yes. Okay, great. Okay, so you answered my questions already. So I'm asking a question on behalf of my sister for the second donation. I'm studying tarot with your book and it's amazing. We'll take your class in the fall. Yeah, I offer that class once a year in the fall. So it will be back next, probably around September. We'll probably be announcing it in summertime, and we'll have it starting in September. So September, October, it sort of depends on the schedule, what's going on. So great. So what's your sister's question? Your sister just wants to know, oops, no. Okay, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing here. Too many buttons. These are the things that Buchanan takes care of. I will never, ever take Buchanan for granted. Not that I do, but for sure, I'm going to have even deeper appreciation for her being here, because, oh my gosh, doing this all by myself is a little much. My future, my sister's name is Jessie. She just wants to know her future. All right. Just a big general future question. Got it. Okay. So nice to give it to your sister. Sweet. So we'll look at things to look out for good and things to watch out for that you want to avoid and all kinds of things. We'll see what comes up here. Okay. Good to know. All right. We got an interesting situation here. Um, we've got two people coming into our life. We've got to pursue financials. Oh, I'm fighting with YouTube. To pursue financial security. Okay. Oh, how do I overcome my insecurities about lack of worth to overcome insecurity to pursue financial security? Okay. All right. That takes us in a whole different direction with this. I was just doing general. Okay. So let me get these up. Okay. All right. To pursue financial security. Okay. Well, what's interesting, then this takes us in a different direction because I was seeing this as two people, but if her question is particularly like, what is going to help me get over my insecurities, my lack of self-worth, and get into financial security? So what I'm seeing here, let's go over the first one, is this is the emotional stability. So one of the hallmarks of the King of Cups, I think, is someone who understands emotion, deeply understands emotion. In this sense, I think one of the best ways that we can understand emotion is by understanding that when we feel an emotion that's uncomfortable, shame, guilt, sadness, grief, super hot, ragey anger. I mean, whatever emotion that we're feeling, it will change. Oh my gosh. Water is all about change. Water is always all about change, right? So the King of Cups understands that emotions are never permanent. And that is a good thing. I mean, maybe we would want happiness to be permanent, but even that not being, if that was permanent, our permanent state was always happiness, then it would be like when you sit in a bathtub and you're in a hot bath and it feels super hot when you get in, then your body becomes adjusted and it just feels normal. And I think if we were happy and joyful all of the time, then we wouldn't appreciate happiness and joy. I mean, you have to have contrast. If you don't have any contrast, then you don't appreciate what you have, right? I mean, no one appreciates breathing like someone who had difficulty breathing, right? No one appreciates the sun like somebody who's been in a cloudy weather for 6 months. Nobody appreciates warmth like somebody who's been cold, So when you think of uncomfortable things and then more comfortable things, we really appreciate the more comfortable when we've had some discomfort. So the first thing is to find that groundedness to really find that groundedness in emotion. To know it's not to say that you're going to be flat emotionally. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about having your emotions, but having enough experience, like the king, to know that those emotions are fleeting. So if you feel cranky or you feel irritated or you feel sad or any unwanted or uncomfortable emotion, it's to remind yourself you're not going to feel sad forever. You're not going to feel frustrated forever. You're not going to feel angry forever. And I think that perspective is what the King of Cups very much knows. So if she's dealing with emotional ups and downs and things like that, then this is to remind her that when you're in those ups and downs, you can still be solid. You can say, hey, I am feeling grief. I am feeling deep sadness, but I won't always feel like this. It just have to move through it. That's a great reminder. I mean, that's a great reminder for all of us. So yeah, I mean, I'm a water sign, so I'm always like in my emotions, right? And I have to literally remind myself that, hey, this emotion is uncomfortable isn't going to last forever. Next card is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is one of the aspects of Knight of Cups is that he is on a mission, right? He's the Grail Knight, the knight like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but the real story. He is like searching for the cup, right? He's searching for that Grail cup. And so I think that one of the things that will help with your finances is to have, oh my gosh, a Leo sun and a Cancer moon. I'm a Cancer sun and Leo moon. I think that's her bookend. So yeah, that's what Chandra's saying. My sister is also a sun, Leo, moon, Cancer. Oh my gosh, I'm the flip side of that. So Knight of Cups is really about finding your personal mission. What are you doing? And it has to speak to your heart. So I'm going to say to her, to find financial footing, you have to find like, what is your mission in life? What is it you want to accomplish in this world? What is it that you want to have your legacy be? It doesn't mean that you can't change that as things go, move on. You can change it. Like I didn't start out like right now, my super mission is I want to write a lot of books, right? I'm super into it. But 20 years ago, that wasn't even on my radar. So your mission can change as you grow and you want to start a new career or do something different or whatever. So for you for her is to remind her that to have a mission for now. What is your heart's mission? What is it that you'd like to accomplish? What is it you'd like to try? What is it you'd like to do? Because without that heart space, if she's just going for a job for money, that is not going to work for her. It's not going to work for her. Not with a Cancer moon. No way is it going to work for her. So she needs to find that like personal mission statement. Think about this. I mean, I would even recommend look online and find an article about crafting a personal mission statement or a career mission statement. What is it that I really want to do? Or do I think I want to do? Because if you're young, you just have to try different things to see. You might be very optimistic about something, and you get into it, it's not what you thought it was. So that's the second thing. The third card is the Tower card. Tower card, nobody likes to see the Tower card, but let's talk about the Tower card. The Tower card is the universe telling us that there's something in our life that needs cleaning up, that needs to go. There's something in our life that needs to go. And if we don't do it, the universe will do it. Like when you've outgrown something, and let's say like job, for example, you went into a job. I can tell you a Tower moment from my own life. Perfect Tower moment from my own life. So way back when, I used to be a librarian for a school librarian, right? And so I had this job, and it was a good enough job. There were aspects about it I didn't like. My bosses weren't that great. They weren't that great. The kids were great. The books were great. I loved those things about it. Loved those parts of it. My bosses, not so much. My coworkers, I loved my coworkers. One big thing though is I was gone all day and I couldn't be with my kids. I couldn't pick my kids up from school because I was at the library all day. And I remember being in that job and going, it was a high school. And I remember, well, when they're in high school, maybe they can go to high school here and that way I'll get to see more of my kids. Didn't like that, not seeing my kids. So had this job, and then all of a sudden they replaced me, right, with somebody, minimum wage person. I couldn't work for minimum wage. So they replaced me with a minimum wage worker and I was booted. Well, at the same time, I was also doing tarot readings on the side just for a little extra pocket money, And so when I lost my job, which felt like a terrible thing, what am I going to do? I'm a single mom. This is awful. But I said, well, I can lean into tarot until I figure out what my next move is. I'll just do more tarot readings. Well, here I am, decades later, still doing tarot readings. So the other job hasn't had to happen yet. So I think what that was telling me, and I got a Tower card, is like to tell me like that job needs to go. Your library job is not good enough for you. It's not that it was terrible. It was fine, but it had some real problems with it that I didn't like. And so this was to let me push me in the direction I need to go. And so you may get a push. If you already know what needs to be cleaned up, if there's a job that you hate or a financial situation that isn't working out, you need to clean that up, or the universe is going to clean it up for you. Right? If I had left that job and dived into tarot, it would have been great too, but I wasn't confident enough to quit my job. So I had to get laid off so that I would go into tarot. So think about that as you're like, it could be something that pushes you, and it could be even something that's shocking that pushes you, but it's pushing you to your good result if you go with the flow, if you don't resist it. I could have resisted that. I could have gone back and like, I'm going to sue you for firing me without cause. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to force myself into another library job or whatever. But instead, I sort of went with the flow. And so I would encourage you to do that around this. Clear up what needs to go, though. If you see something quite evidently that needs to go, then let's do that so that we don't have that shocking moment. You can avoid that. But I do see you in a great state. And I think the Nine of Pentacles is a card that reminds us that we can have a job that feels like not a job, that feels like a joyful experience that we love and that we earn money. And so I think that's what you have to aim for in your finances, a job that you truly love based on your mission statement, your personal mission statement in life, and to create that. Like, this is the thing that follows the Tower card. So in this story, whatever needs to go, but it's going to take you to that place where you really have something that brings you happiness, brings you contentment, makes you good money, and all of those things. And that's really going to help fix that situation. Okay. All right. Great. Shutter says she's watching and you're calling her out. That's so cute. I asked her if she preferred to know about her purpose, and she said she wasn't emotionally ready for hearing that. So this is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think this is like, look up personal mission statement, and that's a great place to start. Remind yourself about your emotions, and your emotions that feel hard or sad are not permanent. And remind yourself of that when you're in it. I'm not going to feel this way forever. I'm not going to feel this way forever. Cancer moon, you're very sensitive. So yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Chandra, for buying that for your sister. It's so sweet. Got some other comments here. Jen says that really resonates. All these wands match my fiery energy lately, and I've been more pessimistic. I plan on doing some candle magic and being a joy hunter this week. I love that. I love that, Jen. Thank you so much. All right. Galadriel, how are you? One card for new job. I have a few resumes out now, and I've been out of work since last February. And second card for my writing and how to get it done out there. Out and out there. Okay, let's take a look at that. Thank you so much. If you have, let me put this back up again. I'm here by myself, so I'm having to do everything. Sorry for the clunky. It's got a little clunky. All right, here we go. If you have made a donation, or if you want to find out what's going on, you can, let me hide that. You can add Suboten Harbor on Facebook. Go ahead and click that QR code, and then you can see all of the grannies that you're helping. So hold on, let me get a drink. Okay. All right. So he always gives a shout out to the people who have donated, and you get to see the seniors that you helped, which is so sweet. Okay. So, Dana says virtual hug. Love that. All right. So here's your one card for new job. I have a few resumes out, and I've been out of work since last February. And second card for my writing and how to get it done. All right. Oh my gosh. Intense, man. Intense. But we tell it like it is here. Okay. So the resume is going out. 10 of Wands. This is an interesting card for you to get. What this is showing me is that you're doing it all yourself. And this card is this guy, 10 of Wands, who is carrying all this big load and he's doing it all himself. It does not look fun. That definitely doesn't look fun. You need a partner. You need someone helping you. So that can show up in many ways. Like if this guy gave 5 sticks to one friend and he carried 5, he'd be fine. But he's trying to carry all 10. He's doing it just like you're doing it, but it's weighty, it's heavy. So what we need is partnership. What we need is someone else on the scene. So this can show up in a lot of different ways. It can show up in having a friend that's also looking for a job and helping support one another and cheer each other on, getting together. I mean, I think if you could even virtually get together, like set up time that you're going to do all the things that you maybe feel that you have to do. I mean, whatever it is that needs to get done that you're putting off, get a friend there. And the friend and you can do it at the same time, over Zoom or over FaceTime or something like that. You can support one another, but set up meetings so that you do it. You need some kind of structure and you need some support. Another aspect of 10 of Wands could be to delegate. So I don't know if you are having I don't know if it's sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy me doing this by myself. So I don't know, Alyssa, if you have somebody that is doing like headhunter or a person that's supporting you in that way, or people that are helping you to find jobs, but that could be another option for you too. You could also look, I would look for help. I would look for help with this process. And I think it can be found. It can be found. There's lots of places that you can turn to help, but I feel like you're doing it all yourself. And recruiters, that's the word I'm thinking of. Recruiter, a friend that's looking for a job, even like going to if you graduated from a university, sometimes universities have these places that can help you get jobs or help place you in jobs or, help you find things. So what you're needing right now is to take some of the load off and to have some support. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do anything. They're going to do it for you. But that's the main thing I would be looking for right now, is to get that support that you need and someone helping you with this process. So really look, okay. Oops. Oh my gosh. I do this thing and I press the wrong button. And then I don't know, trying to see if I can okay, here we go. Does these weird things. I don't know what I'm doing here on all the bells and whistles on this. Okay. So, Alyssa says, I do have a couple of recruiters. So, okay, the recruiters are good help, but let's look for other stones that we can turn over. This could be things like organizations that can help for free. Look at what like state or federal organizations, even unemployment office might be able to help you. They might have classes or workshops or help in some way. You could also look for like within your field, there might be some places going back to university. So I would look for more of that help, for more of those places. And I don't know what's out there, so I can't specifically tell you what it is, but I can get a sense that there are those things out there, and to start doing that. Another great resource, the library. Believe it or not, libraries are awesome. If you haven't been to a library lately, you need to check it out. Library's pretty amazing. They've got free classes. They've got all kinds of cool resources. Some libraries have like tech stuff that you can check out and all kinds of things. So I know you live here in town and there are big libraries and we have a big library system. So look at the LA Public Library and see what they have to offer. in terms of job hunting and things like that. They might have something. So that's what I'm saying, like, get your little spider tentacles or spider tentacles, octopus tentacles, spider feet or whatever out there and trying in more than one thing and to find these things. Now, I think that having a friend that's along for the ride can really be great. That can be great if you're both looking for jobs. You can both find resources and share with one another. One or two friends in a little group, like for job hunting, would be great and encouraging. So that could be a really great thing to bring into this mix too. Now, your second of card is how the question you have. Yeah, see, I'm living on my 401k, so I'm doing it all myself, right? So really, I think wouldn't say none of this should cost you any money. This should be all free resources. We live in a big city. There's tons of resources here. I think your mission now is to find resources to help you get employed and really dive deeply into that and to see what's out there. But I gave you a couple little clues. Federal agencies, unemployment office might have stuff. I mean, maybe they have things. And the library could be a good resource. All things to research and look into. Go to a library. Libraries are awesome. They're really awesome. We need to support our libraries, really love our libraries and use our libraries, because the more we use it, the more funding they get. So yeah, it's really good. All right. Now we're going to look at the second part of your question, which is bringing it back up here. I've been out of work since last February, and the second card, okay, that one we got taken care of. And second card for my writing and how to get it done. How to get it done and get it out there. Okay. You need someone cracking the whip. You need somebody that is really like this card is no joke. The devil card showing up. It's like this can be like dominant energy, right? So what you need is, like, I think something that is like going to push you and maybe it in a way that it is less painful to get your writing done and get it out there than suffer the wrath of this person. So, this can be like you need some but like this is like heavy accountability. Like if you don't do it, there's a loss of some kind. If you don't do it, there's like a consequence to pay. So I'm kind of cracking up because it's like, oh my God, it's a little like what? But yeah, you need to have somebody that's really tough. You need some tough love on your book. And you need somebody that's going to be really bossy and dominating with you to get you going. So I think you will figure out what that is. Like one of the thoughts could be like you take a class and you have to turn it in for a project. And if you don't turn it in, you get an F. I mean, that can be super motivating. So you need like some really heavy consequences for not doing it. I mean, class would be a great idea, a class or a workshop where you have to do it, like they're pushing you hard, or an editor with a deadline. That's what I always need. Honestly, if I didn't have deadlines, I would never get anything done. I'm always like putting it together at the last minute and getting it together, but it keeps me going. It makes me prioritize it, because I would be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure and Wildflowers on my phone all day if it weren't for that. So what can I say? I need to have some scary stick, like a deadline. So how can you create a deadline that really does have consequences that you have to get to? So I think a class could be really great, or it's got to be consequences for you. It's a tough one. But the consequences will get you moving, right? Otherwise, it's easy to just go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. Yeah. Oh, this is so sweet. So there you go. There you go, Alyssa. Make a deal with the devil. I wouldn't do that. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This is like you need to have some tough consequences to get you moving. I think you can figure out what those would be. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's like it could be like a writing partner, and the writing partner's counting on you. You just need something that will make you that's that's scarier or worse than not doing it, and then you'll do it. You know, deadlines work for me. I need a deadline. If I don't have a deadline, I'll dawdle around and mess around and not do anything, get anything done. Um, Dana is Chandra's sister. That's so cute. Your messages are very cute. Okay. All right. Next we have Adricha. Thank you so much, Alyssa. Adricha. Adricha says, I donated $30, past, present, future with S. Not sure if my question is showing or not. Yeah, this is your question. This is it. I'm by myself today, so everything's a little like I'm trying to figure it out. So if there's something, if you didn't see your, if I missed you, if I skipped you, if I didn't, just put a message in there and I'll get it. All right. Okay. My gosh, King of Cups comes up over and over again. Huh. Okay, here's what I see. This is pretty straightforward. King of Cups is the card of the past. So I think in the past, there was real emotional connection here, real love, real emotional connection, a heart-centeredness. And even when we see kings show up and we're asking about relationship, or asking about a partner, this is a card that's like saying this person is ready for a committed relationship. Kings represent that readiness. Knights might be moving toward that, but they're not there yet. And pages, no. Pages are having fun and being young, right? So as I look at this King of Cups energy, I see that real, genuine love, the heart connection between the two of you, the desire to have a serious relationship. So I see that in showing up in the past, that there was that intention, there was that connection, and there was that. So that is good to know, that we're on a foundation already of something good. However, this person seems to have gone silent or pulled back in some way. The High Priestess represents that retreat, that emotional retreat, pulling back, being withdrawn in some way, or being silent even. She represents a silence. So, and a little bit of mystery. So what you're in right now is this whole energy of somebody being mysterious, someone retreating, someone pulling back, someone being, like a mysterious energy around them. When I see this, I'm like, this is not actually great for a relationship, because what we want in a relationship is a feeling of confidence, of connection, of reliability in that person. And if they're being mysterious, what are we going to do with that? It's definitely enticing. Oh my gosh, when someone's mysterious, we start chasing after them, but this is not really ideal for a relationship, to have this retreating energy, or this mystery energy, or this quiet, or going quiet. I don't even know if this isn't necessarily ghosting, but it's just emotionally retreating. Your future is the hanged one. So what this card tells me is that for there to be a future that can be actually very good, with that halo around, this is enlightenment, this is awakening and all of that. I get the feeling that the relationship can wake up again, but it is going to take discipline and diligence. So this may be somebody being willing to go against their own nature of withdrawing, to make themselves do the thing that they know will nurture the relationship. So with these two cards showing up as present and future, I think a conversation needs to happen where there's a real conversation, an honest conversation of, when I'm in a relationship, I need, even if we're long distance, even if whatever, I need for us to check in every day. That's important to me. That it isn't a week that goes by before we check in with one another. If we're truly committed to one another or we're truly invested in one another, I need to feel that sense of connection. And a text message or a little conversation every day is what makes me feel that. I think you need to express that. You will see if this person goes along with it and is willing to do the discipline thing to get you guys to that better place. And if they're not, then you don't have, they're not willing to give to the team. Remember, we talked before about how one of the most important things for a relationship to go the distance and to have longevity is to have a team energy about the two of you. Team energy is the team is more important than myself. I put the team before myself. You get it? So the team being before that person's individual needs, they're going to be willing to make the sacrifice to go outside of their comfort zone or do something that isn't, wouldn't be like their natural lazy inclination or whatever, to reach out to you every day. Or whatever it is that's like to be present, to push through their behavior that is more retreating. So I think that's a conversation for the two of you to have, right? That's the conversation. All right. So, Adricia had a good suggestion for you, Alyssa. I'm sure you're on LinkedIn and doing LinkedIn, but LinkedIn might have some extra help or extra things, to help you to get this job. I think that could be a great thing. Yeah. Oh, and there was an answer already. I am on LinkedIn. It's where my recruiters came. Library is a great idea. Thinking about paralegal certification. Yeah, that could be good too. Yeah, wonderful. Let's see. Vicky, did you put your donation in? And where did you put your donation? I need to know. We are doing readings to fundraise. Here, I'll put the QR code so you can make a donation. You can make a donation through PayPal. This is the PayPal one. Let me get this down so you all can see it. So Vicky, just let me know where you made your donation. And if you have 2 cards, it would be a $20 donation. And then you can do that. Adrija, you got your question. You're all right. Okay. Thank you. I guess I didn't see it or it didn't show up for some reason. So Vicky, just let me know where you made the donation and we'll get to you. All right. So let's see. Did she put where she made the donation? Okay, great. All right. Okay. So let's take care of you first. All right. Sorry, you guys. I'm running the whole show here. I am pushing all the buttons and doing all the things. All right. So 2-card reading. Let's see if I can make this. Can I make that? Do that? I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, 2-card reading, please. One with Bob and one with Adrian about how my relationship with them will go. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Thank you, Vicky. Good to see you. Make sure you follow Subotin Harbor. Let's get that back up again. And you'll be able to see the grannies that you help. And you'll get a shout out from Subotin Harbor about your donation. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. First card is Bob. Wowie zowie. This is really sweet. 2 of Cups energy is loving, monogamous, heart connected, focused on one another. Great communication between the two of you. This is a sweet, sweet card for there to be a love relationship, a true monogamous, sweet, deep love. Nothing more to say about it. So this is with Bob. So Bob is going to be offering you the cup of love. There'll be a deep connection between the two of you, heartfelt connection. Sometimes this card is called the pledge. So it means promising to one another, pledging to one another, being faithful to one another. Can be pledge, can be a proposal of marriage even. So it's a really great card if what you want is a monogamous relationship, which I know you do want. So this is really that very special heart connection that's showing it for Bob. Now, things with Adrian aren't bad either. It's not bad, but it's more passion. It's like Queen of Wands shows up, which is like sexuality, passion. So there's definitely that element there, but this card does not necessarily mean monogamous. This card does not necessarily mean heart connection. It means physical connection, chemistry, all of that fire, but the heart part may not be open. So if you're looking for a romantic relationship, a loving romantic relationship, that's Bob. If you're looking for a hot, sexy, passionate affair, then that's Adrian. So there you go. Those are your two. Nothing bad, just two different flavors, and you just pick the flavor you want, right? It's great. It's really good. So pretty straight ahead on those. Yeah, and I don't think there's nothing about it that's rejecting or anything like that. It's just two different flavors for sure. I think that makes sense probably to you too. Yeah. All right, so let's look at our next one. All right. Chandra has another one. And so this one, you made another donation. Thank you so much, Chandra. Let me know where you made your donation. Oh my God, I'm running out of pen ink. What am I going to do? My pen isn't working. Okay. Oh, I don't like a pen that doesn't work. And I don't have another pen around here. Dang it. Oh, wait. I probably have one in my purse. Hold on a second, guys. I know I have one in my purse. Oh, there we go. I'm tethered by my headphones. All right. All right. Okay, so let's see. First of all, Vicky says, thank you so much. She also says, love to see you too, Madam Pammy. Love your hair so much. Thank you. I got my hair cut for the holidays. Adrija, I saw you made another donation. We'll get to you. Chandra, let me know where you made your donation. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll get to your question. All right. So you have, this one's for me. I'm concerned about my purpose, making a comfortable living for myself and my husband. It may sound selfish, but I want us to live our lives helping others. We really want that. And mine is spiritually, educationally, and my husband is financially. Will it happen? Oh, okay. All right. Let's take a look at that. And then just drop in the chat where you made your donation. Okay, here's what I'm seeing here. The reason I'm looking at this is because I see an interesting card. Five of Swords. I'm getting it, what it means now. So Five of Swords can mean like there's conflict. And I was like tapping into my intuition. And I don't get the conflict is between you and your husband, but the conflict is more like, do my values of wanting to help coincide with also having a comfortable life and having an abundant life? And I think that's the thing that you have to work on, is that knowing that you can do these things. We just talked about this in the professional tarot class actually earlier today. But how do you reconcile being a spiritual person with also having a comfortable life? Well, people will say all kinds of things when you're doing spiritual work. And I've heard it, I don't hear it very often, but I've heard it throughout my career as a tarot reader. People will say, oh, I think it's wrong that you charge for what you do. Or I think that people should never charge for a tarot reading, or spiritual people shouldn't charge money for what they do. And I have an answer for that, because you have to understand that spiritual people have always gotten paid for what they do. But Madam Pamita, what about like the medicine man in the village? He didn't charge for what he did. The medicine man in the village was cared for by the village, or the medicine woman in the village was cared for by the village. Her housing was taken care of, her food was taken care of, her health was taken care of. All of her needs, or his needs, were being taken care of by the people of the village. If you want to come and fix my faulty electricity, or you want to come and buy my groceries, I'll do spiritual work for free all day long. If you want to pay my mortgage, I'll do spiritual work all day long. But we don't live in a society that has that structure. Most of us don't live. Maybe you live in a small little village and you know everybody and they take care of you. That still does happen. I mean, it really does happen, actually. If I think about healers in Ukraine, that definitely happens for healers in Ukraine, because they live in a village with 500 people. Everybody knows them. They bring them eggs and chicken and fix their thing. They take care of their healers, right? But I live in Los Angeles, and that is not the way our society works in Los Angeles. I am in a big city. We don't have those connections. Not everyone in the city knows me. They are not taking care of my needs. They are not paying my mortgage. They are not putting food on my table. So we now have to move into an energy exchange that is money. Energy exchange is energy exchange. There has always been an energy exchange for spiritual work. Always. Always. There has never not been an energy exchange for spiritual work. It's just that we live in a society where we don't take care of our spiritual teachers and our spiritual leaders and our people that are doing the spiritual work. What about, well, priests don't, da, da, da. I'm like, priests could send a collection plate around. And the most obscene thing is Christian churches that are supposed to be taking care of poor people, like Jesus, their Jesus said to do, take care of poor people. And it's easier for a rich guy to get in, a camel to get through an eye of a needle, than a rich man to get into heaven. And we see these mega churches with guys that are super duper wealthy. If you've ever watched The Righteous Gemstones, oh my God, hilarious show on TV, on I think it's on HBO or something anyway. But what I'm saying is that for someone to throw at you the idea that you cannot be spiritual and have a comfortable life or be taken care of is not thinking, honestly. They really aren't thinking. They are coming up with some idea, probably because they want whatever you have for free, is what they really are saying. And they want you to do it for free. So you have an answer for them, first of all. I don't think, and my goal is not to be a billionaire on the back of anybody's back. I work 7 days a week. I do spiritual work and I do all the manufacturing stuff of a business. And I literally am working 7 days a week. I really don't have days off unless I go for a vacation and I leave town. That's the only time I really do that. And when I'm working, I'm happy. It's joyful work. I love what I do. It's not that I don't love it, but I'm not, listen, my savings account is nothing. All the money comes in, goes to pay for payroll, overhead, my website, my rent on my factory. I mean, the money comes in, the money goes right back out to everybody else too, to everybody that needs to get paid. So, none of us that are spiritual workers are, having like some thing like a mega church, right? So, but I have, I'm able to pay my mortgage. I have a house. I'm able to take care of my kids. I have, cats. I'm able to take care of my cats. So I'm able to sustain myself through my spiritual work. And I think that feels right, that I sustain myself. So What I'm saying to you is this inner conflict that you have between money and spirituality needs to get realigned. It really needs to get realigned. That's what I see with this conflict card. That's what I'm like, what's the conflict? The conflict is the money and spirituality, that they cannot coexist. So let's wind it back to the ancient times when people took care of their spiritual healers. Let's take it back to that time. But now we understand that the way we can take care of our spiritual healers is by, or whatever it is that you're going to be doing with your magic, with your joyful gatherings and all of that, you should make money, because this is the way that you can continue to offer spiritual services, right? So I think that's important to remember. I think that's really where the conflict is. All right. So let's see if you said anything about that. Oh, yeah. She says, you're inspiring me with your honesty. Really, thank you. It helps. Yeah. So I think that's the first thing that we have to do is get over the notion that you cannot make money doing spiritual work, or you shouldn't make money doing, which is the worst thing to lay on somebody. Guess what? I think plumbers should be free. I think food should be free. Well, I don't live in that society where food is free, so I've got to figure out something else, Anyway, okay. So with it all, I think that the heart needs to be engaged 100%. Whatever your heart's desire is, this is like a pure essence card, that the aces are the pure essence. So I think that for you and your husband, it's remembering that what your heart's desire is and what his heart's desire is can coexist. You don't need to be doing the same job. You don't need to be in business together. He can be doing his own thing. You can be doing your own thing. So you can support one another without commingling all of that stuff. But I don't think there's another thing, I think it's important that we remember that our heart's desire is not everybody's heart's desire. I'll give you a great example. My business, right? I've got my business. I'm turning 60 this year. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to reconfigure things in a couple of years so that I have more time to do the things that I love, right? And more time for traveling, which I have been missing out on. I really have missed travel. So I got to reconfigure a few things, and that may be some changes with my business or doing, whatever, right? There's going to be some changes in the next couple of years. So get me while you can, people. But anyway, one of the things is like, I thought, well, my business, do I want to turn my business over to my kids? My kids are not interested in my business. It is not their heart's desire. It's okay. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. They have their own dreams. They have their own desires. They have their own heart that, is calling them to do things. And I want to help them to get to their heart's desire. Having a business of magic and tarot and teaching is not their heart's desire. It's totally fine. Candle making, not their heart's desire. It's totally fine. They should, I would never put that burden on somebody else to do my heart's desire. An employee, yes, because I paid them, but I hope that they get something out of it more than just the paycheck. They all do. Everybody loves, what we're doing at the parlor. When everyone that works there is really invested in it and loves working on it. But it's, I support their dreams too. Miss Kelly, amazing, our candle maker, Miss Kelly, she's the main candle maker. She has her own little business where she makes crafts things, and she goes to markets and she sells them. And I totally support her in that. I have nothing to do with it. It's her other business, right? So we encourage one another, and we give that space for everybody to have their heart's expression. So I think that's important for you and your husband to remember. Your heart's desire and his heart's desire can coexist, but we don't need somebody else to feed into our heart's desire, unless you're both on the same page and then go, but you guys are seemingly not on the same page of what your heart's desire. So allow yourselves to blossom in your own way, and you can hold hands as you do so and support one another, but you're following your dream and he's following his dream, and those dreams can coalesce. I have a wonderful couple friend. I'm sorry, I'm going on this tangent, but a wonderful couple friend where she has worked in marketing, and he has been a music teacher and an actor. Those things are not in the same worlds, but they support one another, they help one another, they come together. So I think about this and having that dream that you want and that dream that he wants, and listen to your hearts with it. Together, the two of you can come up with a vision for what it's going to be. I think you can support each other's visions. That's what Four of Swords is, being still, envisioning what it is that you want, and then really allowing that vision to talk about your vision, to talk about what it is that you're going to plan, but it doesn't have to both be the same thing. You can be doing different things. Or you can take on different roles within the same thing. If you want to do a business together, it's fine to do, but you're going to have different roles. Honestly, I think you're going to be the driving force and the creative force behind this. So I think you have to take the lead. Again, all that Leo energy, it's the step. This is the Leo card. Step up into your, okay, this is what we're going to do. And to take the lead in that way, but also give space for your husband to have his dream, or to discover his dream on his purpose, right? So it doesn't have to be the same purpose. You can coexist with very different purposes. They can be unique to you. Kind of cool to think about, right? Love it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, okay, let me go back in time here. Oh my gosh. I'm going to bring up something. Yeah, so here's going back to Chandra's question. I think you can do your own paths to these things. You don't have to do the same path. If you want to do the same path and help each other and do different aspects of it. But again, I say listen to your heart and listen to his heart too. All right, this is really super funny. When we were talking about the devil card, getting you to write your book, sounds like my old advisor from college. He was a devil. I needed deadlines or I get nothing done. Be to mean exactly, like I think you maybe not mean, but you need to have some kind of really hard consequences if you don't turn it in on time. Oh my gosh, he was a devil. That's cracked me up. Yeah, there's nothing, Alyssa, there's nothing selfish about that, Chandra. It's so good. Yeah, really sweet. And then Chandra says, you're so kind, so sweet. Oh my gosh, Alyssa, my writing is about helping women heal from abuse. Sometimes the pressure of that shuts me down before I get writing. It's a lot, right? So yeah, you need to, if you can sell it now before it's finished, get it to a publisher, and hustle that up, you'll get a deadline and then you'll do it. But maybe some accountability, just some accountability that has consequences. You need accountability with consequences. That's it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Adrija made another donation. Okay. Thank you, Adrija. S is visiting me. How do you think the visit will go? Okay. Well, I think it's good for you to have that conversation about what it is that you need in the relationship. That's going to be good during that time. Like, this feels good to me when we talk every day or we text every day or something like that. So I feel that connection to somebody, and then see what he does, right? That's all we can do. Okay, let's take another look. I want to remind you guys that, let me get the other thing up here, the other QR code up here. We are going to be doing this next week again, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We'll be doing this again. So if you want to get a reading, think of something this week, come on down and help support those seniors in Ukraine. All right. Oh, it's nice. I think there's going to be, it's going to deepen your connection. Here's what I see. There's some So I have a feeling that the visit is going to be partly spending time with you, but is he going to be visiting family or going to be doing something else while he's visiting you? Um, you might want to, are you going to be working at times? Like, I feel like there's this, the Two of Pentacles is like, I'm getting this message of like spending time with you, but then spending time doing your own separate thing. I mean, like the Two Pentacles, but they're connected, but they're separate too. So, are there going to be times that you're at work that he is going to be on his own? What's he going to do during that time? You might want to think about that. Or is he going to be off doing something else and you're going to be doing something? I feel like there's a time of like togetherness and also a time of going your own direction in something. I think that's good. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, but you have to navigate that. That's for sure. And expect it. He may not spend all the time with you if that's your expectation, or there may be something else that he's doing while he's there, looking for a job or going around or exploring or doing so. I don't know what, but there's going to be some time that you guys are going to be together, probably most of the time, but then some time apart. The next one is Knight of Swords. Both of you have to really have good communication and really be, I think, careful with your words, that you're saying things in a way that is diplomatic. So Knight of Swords tends to speak first and then think later. And so you want to, it's not that you have to watch everything that you say, but if you're talking about something sensitive, like having the discussion of what you need to make, choose your words carefully in a way that is not harmful or hurtful. Okay, that's the second thing. Last, the card. I love this card. Star card is sweet. It really has this like deeper connection that comes between the two of you from this visit. Star card can be like connecting at a soul level. There can be some really like deep, meaningful conversations that can be had. Again, making sure that you're understood and clear about what you say, and making sure that your words are kind. It's always important. But I see some really sweet, sweet moments there. This is a very peaceful, very comfortable energy, very grounded energy. It's not like all that heightened energy. It's very calm and peaceful. So I think it's going to be a nice, sweet little visit. And just make sure you have time to yourself and also time together during that time. And enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's very sweet. I think it can be an opportunity for you to, feel closer and talk about your, what you're looking for in a relationship, and you can share what he's looking for in a relationship. I think that's sweet. Alrighty. Okay, let's see. Drew just said about when we were talking about the idea of spiritual work, getting paid for spiritual work, because tarot reading exhausts you. It takes so much energy. When I do it for my friends, I get super exhausted and a big headache. You have to charge. I don't get a headache and I don't get super exhausted, but it is an energy exchange. And certainly, I think candle magic, doing candle work for people, it's when you're doing it with real intention and you're doing it with really giving your energy to it, it can be something that I think there is effort that goes into it. There's also skill that goes into it and experience that goes into it and care and love that go into it. So all of those things are things that we can offer when we do this. I do this work as we are here right now, Tarot for Kindness. I do this for because I love Ukraine and I love people in Ukraine and I want to do something for Ukraine. And so I try to do one thing for Ukraine every day, whether it's liking a post or reposting something or anything. But it's possible to do one thing for Ukraine every day, but I do one big thing for Ukraine every week, which is to do this fundraiser to help these seniors. I wish I could help every single person in Ukraine. That would be my dream, but it's not possible. But I can do my small part, and that's what I can do. You guys are doing your small part for Ukraine, really, by getting these readings. I mean, I could be sitting here twiddling my thumbs, but you making your generous donations are also, we're together, we're doing this. This is such an amazing thing. And I am so grateful to you guys that come here each and every week to get your readings and make your donations and have this time together It's something very, very special. So I super, super, super am appreciative of you guys in your partnership with me to help these wonderful, like sweet elderly people in their 70s, 80s, 90s. Some of them, many of them are disabled, can't get out. Obviously, they don't have jobs and can't work. How the heck do you support yourself with a tiny pension that doesn't even cover your expenses and you can't work? What do you do? And you have no family to support you. That's the situation with these seniors. It's unreal. Some of the stories are very sad, but we want to make sure they're okay. And this is our way of holding, we cannot single-handedly stop this war and get Russia out of Ukraine. But you know what? We can hold hands with our Ukrainian friends. We can hold their hands and say, I am with you. We always have to remember that. One of the best things I learned, oh my gosh, this is like such a good thing. Such a good thing. And it wasn't that long ago. It was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was. With this horrible, 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 horrific anti-immigrant, racist, anti-LGBTQ, all this stuff that is going on. And when we see somebody bullying someone in real life, in person, I was always like the person, because I got a little Leo rising, I got some fire kids. I was always the person that was like, I'm going to go and tell that bully what for. I'm going to get up in their face and I'm going to say it and I don't care, which has sometimes gotten me into trouble, but I'm still here. But I learned such a beautiful thing, a technique. So when there was this anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant crap that was super heated, I saw this little video and they say, when you see an incident like this, you as the observer should not just stand and observe. Obviously, I wouldn't even stand and observe, but don't go up to the bully and confront the bully. Go to the person who is being victimized and go talk to them and say, are you okay? Can I sit with here and talk to you? Tell me, go engage them, because they need to know that someone is with them and they are not alone. The bully, whatever, but the bully then will see that they're outnumbered. I think that's a good thing. But you're also really attending to the person who needs the attention. My mistake was always going to talk to the bully or say my piece or get up in their face or get in a fight. You don't need to. You don't need to. Go talk to the person who's being victimized, right? And that little tidbit that I saw somewhere was like, I was like, oh, this, anybody who is suffering, you can put the attention on the aggressor, you can put the attention on there, but that's not what they need. What they need is for you to hold their hand and to say, I am here with you. I am here with you. Oh my gosh, I'm getting super emotional. You are not alone. I see you. I am with you. I love you and I care about you. If you've ever been victimized, and probably we all have had a situation, right? To have someone come up and say, I am with you is like the best thing. So every time you guys make a donation, every time you guys show up here and get a reading, we are telling people in Ukraine, I am with you. You are not alone. I am seeing you and I am here for you. In my little small way, I'm here for you. And you guys are doing it in a big way. I should do a little thing and say how much we have raised on this thing. I should add it up. I can go back and find those records and do that. But anyway, I just want you guys to know that, I have friends in Ukraine. I have people that I'm deeply connected to, and this is the land of my people. So I feel like this is such a deep thing for me, a really deep thing for me. And for you guys to be there supporting this is like, I love you guys so much for doing this. So thank you. Remember the story of the starfish? You cannot throw all the starfish back into the ocean, but you know what? You can sometimes feel like you're not making a difference, but guess what? When you do this, you are making a difference because you're making a difference in one senior's life. That's it. Somebody you may never meet. Some people, someone that, you may never meet, but you're making that difference. That's everybody's purpose, is to make a difference, right? Everybody's life purpose. So beautiful. All right, you guys. Oh, MBS says, are you doing tarot readings? Yes. You can donate through PayPal, or you can donate. Okay. So yes, so MBS, if you want to make a donation, you can make a donation between PayPal so MBS, where did you make the donation? How much did you donate? I need to know more information because I'm doing this all by myself. I have no one checking up on it. So you need to let me know where you donated and how much you donated. Okay. So MBS, tell me where you donated, how much you donated. Okay. Okay. How much did you donate? I don't know how I can make it any clearer. What dollar amount did you donate? Okay. What dollar amount? All right. Going through the things, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else besides MBS. Chandra says, thank you so much. Your honesty, really, it helps. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Oh, that's right. You're Libra. It's your sister that's the Cancer. Yeah. Okay. And Adrija says, the tickets are not booked yet. And I'm working. Yeah. So if you're working, try and figure out ways that, he'll probably figure out ways that he can entertain himself too. Okay. Okay. $10. Okay. Thank you. All right. $10. So one card reading. And for MBS, also, you want to follow Subotin Harbor so that you can see where your donation went. This is what we're doing. We're helping seniors in Ukraine today. That's what we're doing. We do this every Sunday. It's not special. So your question is, will Jason Philip Park, born in late March 87, get his karma consequence for how he treated me? A revenge reading. A revenge reading. All right. Will he get his karma? All right. I mean, how is he going to get his karma? What will the karma be? We can look at all of it. Okay. All right. What will the karma be about? What will it be? Thank you for your donation, MBS. Oh my gosh, you're helping a senior in Ukraine get food on the table. Look at this cute little senior with her groceries. I mean, this is what you guys do when you do this. Ooh, interesting. Okay, the card that came up for him is the Moon card. Now, I look at this card, honestly, in lots of ways. I mean, if you are a tarot reader and if you've had as much experience with tarot as I've been around tarot cards for 49 years. 49 years I've been around tarot cards. Long time. 49 years I've been around. I've been reading for about 39 years. So I haven't read the whole time, but I had cards when I was 10 years old, right? So when we look at these cards and they just constantly like widen and go deeper and deeper and deeper, and they all have a great range of meaning. Some of the meanings of the cards you dip into often. Other meanings of the cards show up less frequently. So I'm going to talk to you about the Moon card. Moon card is about something hidden, can be about navigating and trusting and all kinds of things. But one of the meanings of the Moon card is lunacy, the moon, lunacy, mental illness. This is a really subtle karma, man. This is some weird, subtle subtle karma here, because I think what we when we look at mental illness, if we are not experiencing mental illness ourselves, we look at its effect on us. Oh man, that person is like schizophrenic, or that person is a psychopath, or they're this, and we look at it how their mental illness affects other people around them. Well, that's definitely a part of mental illness, is that it doesn't just affect the person, it affects the people around them. But if we're looking at this as madness or lunacy or mental illness, we don't often look at the suffering that the person who's experienced the mental illness goes through, right? We don't often look at that. We look at the effect their mental illness has on other people, but we don't often look at the fact that the person is suffering. So this person, for how he treated you, he either has mental illness already, which is quite conceivably possible, or this is something that's kind of bubbling under the surface, is going to come more to the surface. That might have been the reason of his behavior, could have been mental illness. But when we think, oh, they were so terrible, they're a pathological liar, they're a sociopath, they're this, they're that. Look at what they victimize all the people around them. But that person is suffering inside. They're suffering. They're suffering because untreated mental illness is not fun for the person who's experiencing it. It can be extreme anxiety, it can be depression, it can be schizophrenia, it can be anything. But that person, yes, their untreated mental illness can create havoc, it can create chaos, it can create a life that is unhappy in lots of ways. I don't think there are many people, I can even probably guarantee that there are not many people with untreated mental illness that have a great life, that have a perfect life. They're suffering. They're suffering. So this is some deep karma. I'm telling you, MBS, this is some deep karma, because this person is going to be in turmoil in their life. They're going to have chaos in their life. And if they don't get it treated, they will really have that. Do you think that yeah, look at the thing. It's a long story, but he did some effed up things that really took a toll on me, and I had to gain my footing. I'm just wondering on his end. Do you think that maybe he is it might be a narcissist. A narcissist is not happy. We think, oh, the narcissist is, but that narcissism is inside is not a happy feeling. Personality disorders, it's not a good life. It's not a happy feeling. They create chaos and they never feel that sense of peace, right? So you probably were dealing with someone with some undiagnosed mental health challenges, and they're not getting treated and they're not dealing with it, and they may not even be diagnosed with it, but it's going to cause them suffering. It's interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So he's creating his own karma, in other words, by his behavior, because of his not trying to fix this and be a better person. Did my interaction with him show him to himself? A narcissist is not going to see. They're going to see you as the problem. That's totally the characteristics of personality disorders. Are some of the least treatable disorders and the most hard to get someone into therapy or to get some treatment, because they don't think anything's wrong with them. They think everybody else is wrong, right? So, bullying, this person is going to suffer. So it's interesting that what we're seeing as like the thing that's already happening is already creating suffering for them. So If you want to make another donation and have another card pull, you can go get to it. We're going to wrap up here in a second. I've been doing this for 2 hours. And like you said, it's like, I'm ready to have some dinner. I'm ready to settle down for the night. But if you want to make another donation. Okay. You got your answer then from your other reader. I wouldn't. Yeah, you got your answer from your other reader. So you don't need it from me. Yeah. You're good. I think you're getting your, I mean, this is like a phenomenally deep answer of the moon card showing up. To have someone like, what's their karma? They're creating their own karma because they're not dealing with their stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. You don't need to spend any more. You got your answer. You know, I have a thing. I have a thing. Do I channel psychic read? I'm always getting spirit messages. That's what I do. I use tarot sometimes. I do spirit guide readings. Here's what I'm going to say. If your other reader said something and it makes sense to you, lean into that. You don't need to check with 20 readers to confirm that what they said is true. I didn't know what card they pulled. I don't know what information they were getting, but I'm confident in this one. And it was showing up in the answers that you were giving me. So yeah. And I would recommend to you, MBS, is that you dodged a bullet by being out of that relationship. Yes, you have probably some traumatic events that happened and awful things that happened, but really good riddance to bad rubbish, right? Good riddance to bad rubbish. You don't need that in your life, and you should feel free and happy that you no longer have to suffer along with someone with untreated mental illness. So there you go. All right, you guys, have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want a reading and you're watching this later, or you are here now and you're like, ooh, I'm going to have another question, you can join me next week. 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern is when we start. We're here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, although I think most of you are on YouTube. And we do this every week to raise funds for Ukraine. Let's see how much we raised today. That I would like to do before we go, to see what you guys did. What did you do? So we have, let me add it up. See, I don't have any of my help here. Oops. Let's see. I need a calculator because math is not my strong suit. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I'm not pressing the plus button. All right. Oh my God. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to add these up and we'll see how much we raised. All right. 150 and 80 and 70. We did raise $300, you guys. This is awesome. Good job, everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. $300 is 28 is... Sorry, guys. I'm not the best at math. 8 near 16, 32. So if we had, that's like, I don't know what that is. I can't do math. Let me do. We helped 7.5 seniors. Thank you, calculator, for helping me. Okay. 7.5 seniors we are feeding today. This is awesome. This is awesome. Usually they feed about anywhere from like 6, 7, 8 to 10. So we've got almost like a whole day's worth of donation here. I want to thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to have a private reading with me at any time, if you have something that you want to look at, I should show you that. So this is the thing that, let's talk about last thing before we wrap up, all of the things. All right. You can get a full-length reading with me or one of the other readers at the Parlor of Wonders. You can always go to parlorofwonders.com and get that. Use that code. You can book a reading with me, Buchanan, the Love Witch, Honoreo, Miss Kelly, B. We've got a whole group of readers, wonderful, talented readers here. So you can do that. I also want to remind you that the coven is in full effect. If you would like to be part of my inner circle, oh my gosh, why wouldn't you want to be part of my inner circle? There's discounts, special candles that we only sell to the coven. You get to vote on candles that we release. There's Q&As, special Q&As. There's tarot card pulls for you guys. There's free sessions with me. I mean, all kinds of things depending on which level you go to. You can go to coven.vip or you can click that QR code. I also want to remind you that if you would like, I got a freebie for you. If you go to spellsquad.com or you go to this QR code, you can get a free illustrated ebook, 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spell Work. It will also give you the link. You'll get a discount at the Parlor of Wonders, and you also get a link to join me for the Live Magic Q&A tea party. So I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for everything. We are feeding 7.5 seniors. I want to thank you. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. And thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.